Danke, Timo. So, nach diesen beiden schnellen Partien kommen wir schon zu Match Nummer 3, zu einem jungen Kerl aus England, der ein Sommelier ist von Beruf her. Der seit diesem Jahr erst bei der PDC spielt, hat sich im Januar durch die Qualifying School gekämpft und er versucht jetzt den Weg natürlich auch ganz nach oben zu nehmen. Zum allerersten Mal bei einem European Tour Event mit dabei und deshalb ein herzliches Willkommen hier in der Halle 39, Ted Evetts. Teds Gegner ist 26 Jahre jung, wirklich eines der hoffnungsvollen Talente im englischen Darts. Einer, der in diesem Jahr schon 2 Viertelfinals auf der Pro Tour erreichen konnte. Auch ihn begrüßen wir recht herzlich, Chris Dobey. Und Caller dieses dritten Matches ist der Mann, der auch das World Grand Prix Finale gecallt hat in Dublin. Der Calculator, Kirk Bevins.
Two players with incredibly bright-looking futures taking to the stage for the third match of the evening session here at Hildesheim, day one of the German Darts Championship. 26-year-old Chris Dobey, a man who has plenty of experience already on the big stage, especially when you consider his experience of playing at the World Series finals as well, against a man making his European Tour debut, Ted Evetts, 19 years of age, from Warwickshire, a player who came through Q School in January, and a player, Paul Nicholson, who seems to be moving in the right direction as well.
I think both of these kids are, and I just get so excited to watch these kinds of games. You know, they're youthful, they're exuberant, they're really professional, they're nice lads, and when the referee says game on, these guys just want to batter each other up. And these are the kind of games that people should start getting excited about, Rob.
Absolutely. Combined age of 45 for these two. 19 years of age. Evetts against 26.
Ladies and gentlemen, first leg, it's Chris to throw first. Game on.
Chris Dobey failed to qualify for the last 2 European Tour events this year, but since his most recent appearance in Riesa
95
at the start of last month, he's played in his first PDC quarter-final. That was at the 16th Players' Championship, where he beat Alan Norris, James Richardson, Andy Smith and Devon Peterson as well. So it's another tick in the box. It's another achievement for the CV.
It's another brick in the wall.
It's another.
And that's quoting Martin Schindler's favourite song.
But 60.
Yeah, Chris from Bedlington, Northumberland. Part of the world I know very well. And the future is bright for both these kids because they're just doing everything right at the moment.
97.
Ted is in his infancy a lot more than Chris. But Chris has been on the circuit for a couple of years and he's, in the words of Phil Taylor, serving his apprenticeship at the moment. He's
57.
Gaining experience and he's ticking a few things off boxes like you mentioned there, Rob. And the amount of fans that Chris Dobey has picked up from the professionals over the course of the last 2 years is immeasurable.
100.
He's such an endearing kid, but it's the same for Ted. He's doing everything right like Chris, and he's making lots of friends.
Yeah, and he's got a very mature head on his shoulders as well, has Dobey. You know,
180.
Breakaway, as we acknowledge, a 180 from Dobey, but he seems to be very level-headed, very mature. He conducts himself in the right way as well. When you see him, you know, at the airport, the hotel, whatever, just goes about his business very nicely. He's very polite and
100.
quite articulate as well.
109.
So all in all, he's a very good package, I think, for the PDC to promote the game.
Absolutely
if you
right,
like.
Yeah. He talks Irish for a Northumbrian.
93.
He does.
Ted, you require 104.
Well, 104 for Ted, or Edward as he was born. 60 for double 12. Double 12 to nick the first leg. Nick the first leg.
Shot on the first leg. Ted Evetts.
Little
second leg is Ted to throw first.
To say it.
Game on.
Nice shot, mate.
Indeed.
First leg on stage on the European Tour, and he breaks his opponent's throw. Not a bad start.
Very much like Ryan Meikle's achievement earlier this year, or
150
when he made his European Tour debut, burst out of the blocks, and eventually went all the way to the third round. He was given a helping hand here and there with the withdrawals of the players, but even so, it was a A moment to remember for Ryan Meikle, a player again we'll see a lot more of, I'm pretty sure, over the next few years or so, if he continues to develop and mature as he has
140.
Well, there's a bit of a shift going on in the game at the moment. You've got all these young lads like Chris and Ted and Ryan Meikle coming through and starting to get themselves a bit up the rankings
84.
and getting some victories. Well, if they're going up, people have got to go down, haven't they? We've got to lose some players who have done great things in the game. People that are no longer in the top 64 and will have to fight for their playing
46.
privileges next season.
Yeah.
But I think what's important is that Ted has won the first leg. He'll get a burst of adrenaline from that, and now he's got to learn
56.
to manage that adrenaline level, and that's something that Chris has learned to do very well over the last couple of years. He looks at home up there. He doesn't look overawed.
He certainly does not look overawed, and when you look at his qualifying record as well, beating Ricky Evans
100.
and also the former World Youth Champion Aaron Monk as well, 6-2. But talked about Dobey's exploits in the Players' Championship recently. Evetts also has
133.
one or two things
Said you
to
require 100.
brag about as well. He beat Chizzy in the 16th Players' Championship
It's never
by
easy.
6 legs to 1, and he beat him the day before as well. Oh, sorry, in the
68.
14th Players' Championship.
Said you require 132.
Beat him 6-4, so he beat Chizzy twice in 3 days. So he'll take a lot from that. Might take a lot from this as well. Dobey, double 16. Oh!
100.
What a champagne moment that was.
Said you
that would've
require
been a peach.
32.
Especially with Evetts on that 32 shot. Slightly awkward now. He'll have to go over the top. Over
Game
the top.
shot
he
the
does.
second
Oh,
leg.
a great
10
start.
Evetts. Third leg, it's Chris to throw first. Game on.
Well, what a way to break through that would have been for Dobey had he taken out Bull double 16, but it wasn't to be. And
100.
Evetts leads 2-0, and all of a sudden Dobey has a bit to think about here. Sure, he would not have been underestimating Evetts by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, he's speeding up now as well.
108.
Getting a bit of cockiness about him.
I'll tell you what, I like the look of this kid. He's got a lot about him.
100.
One thing I know about Chris Dobey is that he won't panic. He'll just think, all right, it's just a game. It's first to 6. He's only got 2.
50.
Ted, very impressed so far. And recently he played in a pairs event and won it with Kevin Painter.
108.
So that'll do wonders for your conference, playing with someone of his experience. And we'll actually see Kevin later tonight.
Yeah.
And when you're making friends like that, who needs enemies?
Is there a direct connection with Painter in terms of...
96.
They don't live too
Chris
far
require
from each other.
121.
Ted's from Warwickshire, and Kevin lives in Warwickshire, so I would imagine the
Of course, he
geographical
does.
thing.
He lives near Rugby, yeah. So
96. Said you require 167.
Well, let's see what you can do with this one, young man.
well, this would be another addition to the CV if he could check this one out. Oh, he might well do, you know. What about this for Ted Evetts? Bullseye!
142.
What an effort that was.
Chris require
I was
25.
perched on top of that bullseye like a bird on a birdhouse. Now, Chris is only going to get one shot at a double. Double 4 is that double.
21.
And he lets Ted
Said you
in.
require 25.
And this is for a second break of throw and a 3-0 lead. Double 4.
Game shot on the third leg.
And Evetts
Ted
takes it out.
Evetts. Fourth leg is Ted to throw
Dobey
first. Game on.
is up against it here. Evetts, 2 breaks of throw in dreamland on his European Tour debut.
I didn't see this coming. I thought this might be tight because I thought Ted, you know, getting a bit of confidence coming into this
96.
event. But Chris has been playing very, very steady over the last few months. And he's been picking up victories on the European stage this year. I thought he might edge this, but
96.
I've been wrong before, and I'm looking wrong again at the moment.
He just looks very, very comfortable up on stage. He has visited Germany this year already for the
100.
development tour events that took place in April. He made the quarterfinals of one of them. So he's, I mean, that's part and parcel of the game now, getting used to the travelling and readjusting your lifestyle.
180.
Dobey rattles in another 180.
What it would be good to do with these kids is get them to learn a little bit of German, because they do spend a lot of time here now. Look at this.
138.
And that's brilliant thinking, that's mature thinking. You know, if he's got a head of steam there, he'd think, I want to reply to your 180, but no. I kept my head. I'm going for the 18. Make sure I've got that finish. That showed an abundance of maturity that sometimes we don't see from measured, experienced players.
And Evetts has the bonus here of having effectively 6 darts in hand with this, because Dobey is on 182. Evetts just losing his way here momentarily. 57 down to 110. Could have been obviously better.
Now Chris has got to leave himself a 2-darter here. A nice cushy number, and pray
100.
that Ted doesn't take this 110. What's he got on this one? Where's he going to go? Treble 18, he's got to. And he gets it. Double 18 for 4-0 against Chris Dobey.
Shot on the full leg. Ted Evetts. Fifth leg is Chris to throw
Dobey
first.
is probably feeling like he's been hit by a dump truck. This has been a sensational performance from the kid from the Midlands.
125.
Well, in his regular day job, he works as a chef, but I think he might be hanging up his wooden spoon fairly soon on the evidence of this one.
I've actually spoken to Ted about that vocation, and this kid has got some skills with the knives and forks. He can cook up a real storm.
Likes working with steel, clearly.
58.
Using tools made of steel, clearly in his makeup.
I'm already jealous of him. He's a better dart player than me, and he's a better chef. Makes me sick.
Is it difficult to be a better chef than
60.
I can cook a few things.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not bad. Keep the people at home happy, that's all I care about.
58.
Haven't poisoned anybody yet.
Yeah. The risotto king of Northumbria, as he's not known.
100.
Well, back to the main course, which is Dobey versus Evetts, and Evetts is just dominating this game so far. And you've got to think, sometimes there are performances that just come along like this.
100.
Great visit from Chris. I mean, he's blocked that 60, but he's managed to find it eventually. Is there a way back from here? Slim chance the way that Ted's playing.
If there is, it's a long way back, and Evetts is in the mood for more here.
140.
He's down to a
Fisher
Shanghai.
160.
Tall order this for Dobey, but that's part 1 accomplished. It's not going to be.
100. Ted, you require 120.
It's not a bad setup, but now he's got to rely on Ted missing this one. 60 for tops. I just had a feeling he was going to hit that, you know.
I did.
60. Chris, you require 60.
60 to get on the board. Can't miss any more doubles. It's not a bad 20 because it leaves all of the bed open now on the left-hand side.
20.
But a few misses have been very, very costly.
So Evetts for another break and for a 5-0 lead. 2 bites at tops to leave Dobey floundering. That's a long way north.
Game shot on the fifth leg.
Absolutely bang on the money.
Sixth leg is Ted to
And
throw
Evetts
first.
on his European Tour debut is now 1 leg away from a place in the last 32. That was his girlfriend Georgia, I believe, watching on there. She's here this weekend as well.
Interesting when he had the 60 that he's hit the 20. He's gone straight for the tops, but I think it was shielded by his flight. That's why he's gone so high. And intelligently, he's gone to the left and he's hit it.
177.
But Chris Dobey showing some fighting qualities. He's not going to give up, even though he's got to win every leg from here on in.
Yeah.
It has happened before, very rarely, but you can't give up in this game.
100.
Anything's possible.
Well, sometimes you just have to admit that it's not your night, and Dobey himself will admit he's been beaten by on the night, a better player. And maybe just 1 or 2 question marks creeping in about Dobey's ability now to qualify for the European Championship. He will be left on a knife edge here, assuming he does lose this match.
43.
It seems like the people who have been in this dogfight for the last few spots, they've all had, well, most of them have had poor days at the office.
Yeah, a couple have fallen by the wayside today. Brendan Dolan, Andy Bolton, for example. Dobey will be left to sweat here, I think, assuming Evetts finishes the job. He's still got work to do here, and maybe this will be a chance for Dobey to get a leg on the board. Michael Smith watching on. He is involved tomorrow in the second round against Mark Webster. Dobey
82.
setting that one up, and this should be Dobey's leg.
Should be, because the last thing you want to do is get beat 6-0 in this position. I've been there before myself. All you want to do is get a leg on the board and start building after
60.
that. First thing,
42.
give yourself a shot at a double. Double 18 to get on the board, and
Next
does.
shot on the 6th leg, Chris Dobey.
Well, the shake of the head there tells its own
7 leg
story.
is Chris to throw first. Game on.
Right, not messing about, straight back to the hockey, and that's a break. So you've got to think of that as a huge positive. If Ted can win 5 legs on the spin against
97.
me, you've got to think, well, I can do it to you.
Yeah.
Well, I, for one, don't want to stop watching this game.
It's different when you're 5-0 down there. Especially if Evetts starts off with a 280, as he has done there on the Dobey throw as well. And that will really, really hurt, because Dobey might just have started thinking, OK, I've got platform here, I've got something
57.
to build on. And suddenly Evetts has just piled in with a wrecking ball of an opener. And who knows if he can back it up. Well, he can't back it up with another maximum, but he can back it up with another healthy visit here.
It's not like Chris has played badly.
No.
Ted's just played that little 1 or 2 dot game better.
57.
I would say not a great deal in the averages, but Evetts has just really been fairly ruthless on his finishing.
44.
Well, Warwickshire have produced some incredible dart players through the years. Kevin Dowling, who's still playing on the circuit now, what a player he was and still is.
Steve Hine on later as well.
Steve Hine, absolutely. Andy Smith played for Warwickshire
94.
for many years. The great Trina Gulliver.
That's just straight into the
Colin
one.
Fowler's another one as well, yeah. There's a one I've plucked out from...
123.
Yeah.
Evetts stands for 54. Plenty of room for manoeuvre here. Might even have more room for manoeuvre if Dobey can't find a treble.
100.
Well, he's down to a potential 2-dart finish, but he might not get the opportunity. Evetts closing in on a 6-1 win on his European Tour debut. Tops he wants. 2 goes at it.
34.
And it's just under the wire.
And 96.
Well, if Dobey can steal this now, all sorts of doubts will be creeping into the mind of Ted Evetts.
Double 18 for tops. Well, you had to go for it. It was the biggest bed.
38.
Right way to go. No
20.
doubts.
Yeah.
Now Evetts,
But that's
3
the
clean
risk.
darts. Yeah, you have to do it.
You have to do it. Double 10, double 5. The agony goes on for the 19-year-old.
10 score.
And he's not there yet. And the longer this goes on for him, the longer and more painful the agony will be.
This is what you call experience.
Tops then for Dobey to reduce the
shot on the
deficit to 5-2. And on we go. And maybe, Paul, your wish for a match to be elongated is going to come through here.
Well, I just like watching this match. I think it's intriguing, so I don't want it to end yet. No disrespect to Ted, because I'm sure he wants to win this 6-2.
But this is it's a very different test now. It's a very different examination for Ted Evetts here, because he's come through one examination, or he's come through more than one examination so far in getting on stage, establishing a lead, settling himself down, building a commanding lead as well. But now this is a very, very different kettle of fish, especially on a big stage in front of a big crowd as well.
Absolutely right. It's a lonely, lonely place on stage.
58.
The referee can't help you. The chalkers can't help you. The crowd can sometimes give you a little bit of an adrenaline kick. But there's one person up there who really wants to spoil the party, and he's just hit a 177.
Yeah.
I mean, talking about Ted Evetts taking out Ricky Evans and Aaron Monk, which, you know, 2 young players there, is that we want, you know, we will see more of in the future.
100.
Chris Dobey taking out 2 stalwarts of the game in Ronnie Baxter and James Richardson in qualifying. But you're right. At this point in time in the game, it's about a different kind of experience, and you've got to learn from these situations. You will be in these situations in your career over the course of the next 15, 20 years.
54.
And you've got to learn to handle everything, and the only way to learn how to do that is to be in that situation to start with.
Yeah. 177 is backed up
Thank
by
you.
a 54. Just wanted to stray and errant calls from the crowd there.
That's another thing that you have to learn. Crowds and darts aren't
60.
silent anymore. You are going to get a few wrong-uns.
134.
Especially as the evening wears on.
Indeed. Treble 18 will leave tops.
58.
Well, he's had 2 successive visits of 50-something now for Dobey, but he's in the frame to peg him back to 5-3 here. Evetts struggling for trebles, but he's got one there.
76.
And all of a sudden now Evetts has a bit of something to cling to here. 16 for tops. He's missed it though anyway. Oh, well, that's
44.
Pretty unforgivable at this stage of the match.
Absolutely.
91.
He will be livid with himself because he should be shooting at tops with the third dart. Now, Ted Evetts is going to get another match dart.
9 for double 16, just about. Double 16 then.
59.
Good inch or so wide of the target there as well. Anxious times here. Very, very edgy from both players at this critical juncture. It's not in.
A hero dart if he hits this. Absolute hero dart.
If it was in, Chris, you would have heard the referee
No
say something.
score. Ted Uruguay 32.
Well, he's squandered a few opportunities already. This, you feel, has to be his moment now. Double 16, right in the top corner. And Ted Evetts makes a winning start to his European Tour career. The 19-year-old from Warwickshire, very, very impressive indeed against a very capable player. But the 19-year-old showing no signs of nerves and looking very composed and very assured on stage as well. Certainly want to watch for the future and want to watch this weekend as well. Evetts is through and he will face Kim Hybrex in the second round tomorrow. What a match that should be. Up next we've got Christo Reyes against Mark Walsh.
Chris Dobey. Aber das war schon bemerkenswert für jemanden, der es eigentlich nicht gewohnt ist, hier auf so einer Bühne Darts zu spielen. Gutes Match. Mal sehen, was er selbst zu dieser Partie zu sagen hat. Ted, congratulations. I just said, you're not used to playing on this stage in front of so many people. So what you played really well.
Just come up here and enjoy it and just play what I can do.
Do you like it to play in front of that crowd?
Awesome tonight, thank you.
Ja, er bedankt sich bei euch und sagt, das war awesome, das war richtig gut. What's your plan for this weekend?
Just enjoy it, have fun, and see where I can get Ted Evetts out there a little bit.
Okay, see you tomorrow again. Thank you very much. Ted Evetts, der versucht das Wochenende einfach zu genießen, locker bleiben, gucken, was geht und vielleicht noch für die ein oder andere über